Tyson is our 5-year-old rambunctious, stubborn child. He was just this kid who loved life, had no fear, loved people, loved his friends. He was just an awesome kid.
We go for walks and stuff like that. I bring a lot of games, so we'll play soccer and stuff.
If he could, he'd do 10 million things at once, just because he can.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the type of kid he is. There's no, like, one thing. We planned a trip to take Tyson to Disney World for his 4th birthday. Everything was going good. We had Mother's Day, and then the day after. Just a regular day, and dropped Tyson off, and I went to work, and he went to work, and I got off early, so I went home, and he went home, and we unfortunately got the worst phone call of our entire life, that Tyson had been hurt, and that we needed to get there. What we walked to was not what I thought it was. Our child laying on the grass, and I can't make him get up, and I can't make him say, "Mommy." I can't get anything out of him except for these groans that I'll never forget.
I was looking into his eyes, and he didn't look like he was very self-conscious at the moment.
The EMTs got there, and we got sent to Royal Columbian. He had a brain bleed, a blood clot in his right jugular vein. He had some nerve damage and a bruise on the back of his brain. Then we got transferred to Children's, and he was put on a vent when we were at Royal Columbian. And when we were at Children's, they took him off the vent, and the doctor came out to get us and told us that he was asking for me. So I went running in there. I was wrapped up in his Minion blanket, and it's funny looking at it now, I go to give him a hug because I think he wants a hug from me, but he just wants his Minion blanket. So that's how I knew my child was still in there.
Tyson sustained an injury last May where he had a piece of retaining wall fall and strike him in the head. As a result, he had some cognitive impairments and physical impairments from that.
It was like he was a China doll, and I thought he would break. So I was very, no, can't do that. No, can't eat that. No, 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 was my vocabulary.
You can tell in his face, like, I don't know, he just wasn't the same person. Like, just for the longest time, he wasn't like the happy-go-lucky kid he was before. You can't do anything to help him, you know what I mean? It's just time goes by and hopefully things get better.
He had a right side weakness, so we had to work on his fine motor, his gross motor. So like, no, he couldn't play, like run around like a kid because he would fall, and that was always my concern, was re-injury, and us going back to the hospital was always my concern. But thankfully with the BC Centre, they kind of showed me that the world's not scary.
In the 6 months that he received service, he showed great improvements in all areas, really worked on his physical skills, so got back to running and biking and riding scooters and all the things that he wanted to do. Really worked a lot on OT and his fine motor, so playing Legos, things like that. And then as well too, working on his speech.
We did all of our therapy at home, which for Tyson was the best. We didn't, for PT, we actually went to our local park, Bear Creek Park, to do a lot of it, and occupational and speech were done at home. Even though he's graduated from there, the social worker we have now, Whitney, helps me with everything. She got me in touch with Reach, who helps Aboriginal children, and that can help me with his school. So they get me in touch with other people. Just because they're done doesn't mean they're actually done.
We can follow Tyson up until he's 19 years old, just as a resource and as a support. So if Chisa and Riley ever need help kind of like navigating the systems in the community and the resources and supports that are available, I'm kind of their point person. As well too, Chisa and I really worked on getting everything in place so Tyson could go back to school in September, so that the developmental assessment is part of that in case Tyson needs an individual education plan or support when he goes back to school. So Chisa and I keep in contact, and any questions or anything that she has, I'm there to answer them for her.
So thankfully, Tyson will have a very good support system at school that I can see a bright future for him. It's funny, the worst parts of him from before the accident, his stubbornness, his independent, like he can do it all, were his strengths.
Just with the vast amount of recovery that he's made since his injury, regaining all of those physical skills, the social emotional, the fine motor, the speech, he's just consistently showed improvements across all areas.
Tyson still has a long road ahead of him, but he has the team to get him, I like to say, to graduate high school. To be the adult that can be a functioning member of society, and he can be someone that he's proud of, and what happened to him when he was 4 won't matter.
It's not just Tyson, it's Tyson's parents as well, who should be recognized for all of the work that they've put in.
I think he's growing up to be a good kid, so I think we've done good.
I think so too.